This one's working? Yeah, this one's working. I'll give you this one. So we're going to get started in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
This will be getting live streamed as well. So if you have anybody who wants to watch it, it's on the Just SB's YouTube channel. So if you just look up Just San Bernardino, you can find it on YouTube. We're just waiting for the confirmation from Future First here, who's running our production. We're good to start? All right. Thank you all for joining us. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Segura. I'm the executive director of the Garcia Center for the Arts. I wanted to start tonight with just a land acknowledgement that we are acknowledging that the center is on ancestral and unceded territory of the Serrano people, represented today by the Yuhavatam of San Manuel Nation and the Morongo Band of Mission Indians. We pay our respects to their elders, both past and present, and honor the stewards of this land. Now, on behalf of the San Bernardino Arts Collaborative and our community partners, we want to just thank you all for being here for the first ever Creative Economy Candidates Forum. Tonight's event is brought to you by our collaborative, a coalition composed of nonprofits, artists, cultural workers, educators, local businesses, residents, and community members working to strengthen arts, culture, and economic opportunity in the community of San Bernardino. This evening's conversation focuses on the future of our city and the important role that art, culture, small businesses, workforce development, housing, public spaces, and the communities and community investment plays in shaping a collective future. We also want to recognize our sponsor who made tonight possible. Alejandro is going to talk a little bit about them.
Sweet. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? It's good to be with community today. As Michael mentioned, my name is Alejandro Gutierrez Chavez, and I get the honor of being the Executive Director of Arts Connection. We're your Arts Council of San Bernardino County, and one of the collaborative members of the San Bernardino Arts Collaborative, and also a collaborative member of the Just San Bernardino Coalition. Want to give a huge shout out to our Just San Bernardino Coalition, which is a coalition comprised of 8 different organizations working from environmental justice, worker justice, faith-based organizations, arts organizations, community organizations coming together to develop a people-driven and inclusive economy that represents the people's dreams and ambition, working from everything within housing, workforce development, purposeful pathways, and ensuring that arts and culture are also a key driver to our economy. So if you could please give a round of applause to the Just San Bernardino Collaborative. So just want to mention again, if you have the opportunity to follow Just San Bernardino on all the socials, we'd greatly appreciate that. If you could share the live stream with a neighbor. Again, this event is a way for us to build awareness of some of the ideas and conversations that are happening in community. So build awareness, share this link with others, and excited to get this show on the road. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Michael.
Thank you, Alejandro. So a few more shout outs. We want to thank our media sponsor, Inland Empire Community News, an independent local news organization. Has been serving the IE for decades through local journalism, civic engagement, community storytelling, and public information that uplifts the voices and stories that shape our region. And then we want to just go through our list of partners. The Garcia Center, Arts Connection, the Arts Council of San Bernardino County, Inland Congregations United for Change, ICUC, San Bernardino Generation Now, SBGN, Future First, who's also running the production tonight. So this video will be online after this for folks who want to rewatch clips. We have the Inland Empire Prism Collective. We have Creative Grounds, a local business in the downtown. Three Little Bluebirds, another local business. West Side Story, one of our social change artists out here, Freddie Calderon. National Orange Show, who we've been partnering with the East Street Corridor, Realacor Development, who's helped partner with us for the corridor as well, San Bernardino Arts Association, who's been serving artists out here for a long time now, and then Samia Sibs, who helps here with green spaces and with gardening. And then, of course, thank you to all the volunteers, organizers, the translators, the production team, and then all the community partners behind the scenes. Now, before we begin, I just want to say this is a nonpartisan voter education event. As a 501c3 nonprofit organization and hosting this, we do not endorse, oppose, rate, or rank candidates for public office. All legally qualified candidates for this office were invited to participate, and tonight's questions are intended to help community members better understand each candidate's perspectives on issues impacting San Bernardino. Our goal tonight is simple: to create space for thoughtful conversation, civic engagement, and community dialogue around the future of our city. I just want to thank the translators. We have Claudia and Nano in the back who will be translating for us tonight. And I would like to introduce our MC of the night, Denise Berver. She is the co-owner and publisher of Inland Empire Community News. They have been locally publishing El Chicano in San Bernardino since 1968. They publish community-based local stories and highlight news that is usually overlooked by larger media outlets. You can visit their website at iecn.com or follow them at IE Community News on social media. Thank you, Denise. I'll be handing it over to you. I believe that's your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Denise Berver. I'm the co-owner.
And one last thing, sorry, Denise. We have ICUC Youth that will be handing out papers for questions. We're trying to collect questions for future engagement. Depending on if there's a runoff, we want to be able to have community questions ready for the next forum or whatever else we do that's community-based. So please give us any questions you have for candidates if there is a runoff. We want to make sure your voices are lifted as community members. So thank you. Denise, sorry about that.
Of Inland Empire Community News. A quick note in the interest of transparency, some of the candidates involved in these forums are paid advertisers with IECN. However, IECN does not endorse or support any candidate. We are here as a neutral party and a media partner of the San Bernardino Arts Collaborative. So a few quick guidelines and rules before we start tonight. Each candidate will have equal time to respond to questions. We'll have a timekeeper in the corner here. Candidates will receive a 30-second warning and a stop sign when time is up. The same core questions will be asked to each candidate, and we will rotate answering, so each candidate has an opportunity to go first. Candidates will begin with a brief opening introduction before moving into topic-based questions. We ask audience members to remain respectful throughout the evening so every participant has the opportunity to be heard. We encourage applause and engagement, but ask that interruptions be avoided during candidate responses. We have translators for Spanish-speaking community members and ask candidates speak clearly and at a normal pace to ensure smooth translations. We would also like you to take a few seconds after your answer to allow the translator to finish their translation before you begin, and your timekeeper here will give you a green light when it's time for you to start. Since we're filming the forum, we're asking that candidates remain seated while answering because the cameras are set up already. Lastly, candidates, please refrain from attacking or speaking about other candidates. Use your time to speak about solutions and your vision for San Bernardino. We will also have a brief 5-minute intermission midway through the forum. We'll now begin with candidate introductions. Each candidate will have 1 minute to introduce themselves and briefly speak to their vision for San Bernardino. And we'll begin with Ronnika Ngalande here, who's sitting next to me.
Thank you, everyone. Let's make sure y'all can hear me. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for the Garcia Center for putting this together. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ronnika Ngalande. The N in my name is silent, but one thing that people know about me is I am not silent. I have been a resident in the city of San Bernardino since 1984. I'm just curious to know, how many of you have been here more than 40 years? Raise your hand. All right, there you go. So like you, and like you, and like you, you have seen the transition of San Bernardino. For those of you that have been here for that long, you've seen the highs and you've seen the lows. The reason why I'm running today is because of that. We've had way too many lows, unfortunately, in the last 10, 15 years. My heart is with San Bernardino. As I said, I've been here since 1984. I'm also a planning commissioner. That actually gave me an opportunity to see a lot of things from a different perspective, being involved in civic duties. What I've noticed is that the city of San Bernardino has turned into a welfare city where social services are taking over our community, and we need to change that immediately. If you all want to have the same regiment going forward,
Ronnika.
then
Your
that's
time
what.
is up. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't even see. How do I see the sign?
He's right here. He has a red stop.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. Sorry. I didn't see it. Okay. I didn't see him over there.
Good afternoon, San Bernardino. This is Ivan Garcia. I'm a servant of God, volunteer for the city. I've been heavily involved in We Are the Change SB. I'm running today because our city needs new leadership, accountability, and someone that delivers results. Someone that is not just going to talk, someone that is going to deliver with actions, someone that's going to build relationships, and someone that's really going to take the time to help, educate, and inform businesses and residents. Build a team. How do we build a team? We need to occupy our commissions, advisories, and committees. Currently, we have these as non-active. We have some commissioners serving multiple commissions. Unacceptable. We have plenty of talent in this room right here in our city, in businesses, and they need to deliver. One last thing that I wanted to share, I'm a civil engineer, graduated from Cal Poly Pomona in 2011, and I want to bring my leadership expertise to our city. And let's make a difference together and rebuild San Bernardino together.
Thank you. Just a reminder, the first round is 1 minute for everyone. And your timekeeper's in the corner here. In case you don't see him, he's over here in the corner.
2 minutes and then moving to 1:30. Yeah, so it's 1 minute, right? Okay, thank you.
Is this on?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rick Avila, born and raised, 63 years. Our family roots are 117 years. As a mayor, I am not going to take the office and start criticizing and bashing anybody what they haven't done or what they should have done. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get to work. This is not the city that I grew up in. It's not the city my mother grew up in. It's depressing driving downtown. I will, first day, roll up my sleeves and just get to work, start cleaning the city, pave the streets. We are 10 years behind schedule on paving of all the streets. You go to any other city, they're all paved. Just clean it and blight and crime, bring it down. Thanks.
Well, good evening. My name is Amy Malone. I am a business owner. I've owned my company for over 30 years. I started in 2005. I owned a public relations company. I specialize in branding, in image consulting, and crisis management. I love this city. I've moved to this city and really become connected to the families and the people in this city. And that is why I want to run for mayor of San Bernardino, because it's time for somebody to be in that seat that has integrity, character, and that wants to see this city move forward, not just for the politics of it all, but for the people. I want to be the person that works with the people in San Bernardino to turn this city around. And I look forward to working and meeting each and every one of you so that we can talk about what this city needs. Thank you. My name is Amy Malone. I'm running to be your next mayor.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My story begins right here in San Bernardino at age 6. I am a daughter of refugee immigrants from Vietnam who came to this country in 1981, searching for opportunity and a better life for my siblings and I. I grew up in the city. I attended local schools here from grades 1 to 12. I graduated from Cajon High School. I'm the first in my family to attend a college and graduate with a college degree. My life did not just grew up here, but I built my life here. I graduated from Cajon High School, met my husband, bought our first home here, raised our 4 children here who all attend locally the schools in this city. And I'm here to really ensure that the city is going to be a stronger, safer, and vibrant city, and that is my vision for San Bernardino, and we're going to get to work and not stop working until that does happen. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates, for your introductions and for joining us to answer questions tonight related to the creative economy. Tonight's questions were developed collaboratively by community organizations, artists, small business owners, housing advocates, educators, youth advocates, and residents from across San Bernardino. The questions are organized around several themes impacting the future of our city, including economic development, housing, workforce pathways, public space, arts and culture, and community investment. We'll begin tonight with questions focused on small businesses, entrepreneurship, economic development, and San Bernardino's creative economy. Many residents and business owners have expressed interest on what strategies the city can prioritize to support locally rooted businesses, activate vacant storefronts, and improve the visibility and perception of San Bernardino. I'll invite 2 small local business owners up to ask the questions. Today we have Dwan Kellum, artist and co-owner of Creative Grounds, and Tia Johnson, owner of the 3 Little Bluebirds.
Good evening, candidates. Good evening, community. Thank you for allowing me to ask the question tonight. What specific policies or investment strategies would you prioritize to support small businesses, specifically or including women-owned, minority-owned, and cultural-driven businesses?
And we can start with Ivan on this round.
As your mayor and a small business owner here in the city, I have 3 businesses that are located here in the city. I'm a general contractor, property manager, rental property owner, and I currently launched off a consulting design engineering firm that I'm still working on. What I would do is work closely with businesses and residents. Our businesses currently lack, or they don't know the information that, or resources and tools that are available to them. One of them is work with economic business development. As a business owner, I've taken advantage of some of the programs that we currently offer here in the city. I worked with Inland Empire Women's Business. You know, they helped me sit down, educate me about a business plan. That's one thing that we need to educate our businesses about. Let them know what grants are out there available to make them succeed, and ask them what tools and resources do you need to be successful, and engage with the city council, the departments that we have available here in the city, launch off and activate our Chamber of Commerce, our Rotary, and our NAC, the Neighborhood Association Council. Too many times, a lot of businesses that are located here in the city don't know what programs are out here. They don't even know that there's a city website. They don't know who their city council is. They don't know who their mayor is. And I'm the person that's gonna come in, have regular workshops, encourage our council, our staff to reach out to these businesses that we have here in our city to be successful. Because that's what our city staff currently lacks in our team. And again, it's about building teams, offering resources and tools to the people that are in our city, and not encourage them or discourage them to leave our city, because a lot of the times people don't know. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a mayor in that question, I am a 2nd generation small business owner. I'm a general engineering contractor. One of our major projects here in the city is right below the Castaways restaurant where it says the All-American City. We designed that, we did that whole project, the whole wall. But as a mayor and experiencing that, we already have the 5% advantage to bid these jobs. And I think everybody sees the SBX that we've had for several years. It was a $195 million job. I didn't get not one dime as a local business, small business owner over 53 years here. That will stop as a mayor in the city of San Bernardino. I want to only have businesses in the city of San Bernardino, 3 businesses to bid on the same particular job. And if we have contractors, developers that are living here in the city of San Bernardino, have their office, some of these projects we don't have to put out to bid. We can keep the same contractor and we can go on a time and material basis. Some of these jobs, it takes most of the work and money just designing the set of plans. So these small projects, we can go ahead and keep those in-house, and all the money stays here in the city of San Bernardino. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. First of all, I will prioritize local business and small businesses. Our growth and our revitalization will really stem heavily on us supporting the businesses that are here, working with individuals who are here. We have all of the talent in the world, as one of the candidates says. We have a lot of talent here. We have people who have businesses in their homes. If we help to support those businesses, if we help to provide grants for businesses, if we have blueprints so that businesses can thrive, then we're helping them to sustain themselves. Right now, we are not doing what is needed to help our businesses go from homes into storefronts. That is done when we give the resources and the knowledge needed to do that. So I would first create a small business blueprint that gives you the information you need to do business in San Bernardino. That would include the names and numbers of all of the permitting offices that you need to contact to get your business off the ground. Then I would have small business incubators so that you can work together, learn together, and build together. We will provide workshops to show you how to market your business, promote your business, the financial side of your business, and what you need to do to stay healthy here in San Bernardino. And it doesn't necessarily have to be only in downtown San Bernardino. I want thriving businesses in every ward of San Bernardino. And the way that happens is if we invest in ourselves. We should have grants. We need to provide grants for our businesses. We need to make sure that people who are trying to get started get the education that they need. So work with our local college so that you can go to school classes and get a discount on classes if you already have a business started. We just have to work together in order to provide the resources that you need, and that happens when you work with council and work with the city manager to develop plans so that we can all win.
Thank you.
Thank you. Efforts to support the small business, that's a huge deal for me. And when I came in as mayor, and I want to thank the former councilman, Ben Reynoso, and Kim have pushing efforts on the business facade grant and so forth, and that we got to continue, because those are things that we got to continue the work when they're no longer in office. And so I give credit where it's due. The biggest thing that we have done is that we established an economic development department, and that department really pushes help local small businesses. If you have not followed us on social media, please do, because and I was just going through our department, and there's a lot of workshops to ensure that you have access as a small business owner, trying to make sure that you are being helped, and there's access to grants. There is a facade, a small business facade grant to help to improve your business on the exterior or whatever you need, that we're here to help you. And I know there's room for improvement, because that's something that we always have to do. So we're always open for feedback to ensure that we are supporting small business, because we know small business is the backbone of every community. Thank you.
Is Tia here? Do we have Tia? Oh, there you are. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, time starting? Okay, thank you so much. Well, this is one of those tough questions for me, and I say that because in San Bernardino, we see what it looks like. And so we have to be realistic here, folks. The first thing that we need to do is to clean up our downtown and to hold other cities accountable for their homeless, okay? We're overran right now with homeless coming in from other cities. No small business is going to be able to survive under these conditions. If you go to downtown LA, multiple businesses on a daily basis are closing. It's even worse for minority-owned businesses because they have a double whammy against them. I say that because I've worked 25 years in the financial industry. I worked for one of the top Fortune 500 companies, Wells Fargo Bank. And I will tell you, financing was not equal across the board for minorities. So the first thing that I would recommend is to advocate for capital. At the end of the day, those minorities need to have money. They need to have access. My mother had 25 years of experience doing an early Head Start program. One of the biggest challenges that she had was around being able to have the capital to pay her staff. We need to be able to bring in really good qualified businesses so that we can provide the type of wages that are going to sustain our people here in the community. So another thing that we need to do is to have an economic director. We don't have that. So what I would do is work with the city manager to make sure that we have the most qualified economic developer, manager, director, so that we can start really getting down in the roots. Another thing is around regulatory. There's a lot of red tape that's involved with building a small business. It's not easy. So we need to provide access to education and information on how to bypass and work with our planning commission and think of different ways to help these small businesses get up and running right away. In Ontario, the reason why Ontario looks as good as it does right now is because they have provided lots of incentives for small businesses as well.
Thank you.
So give the small businesses a break.
Now we have Tia.
First of all, this is so awesome to see the community out here. Thank you, San Bernardino. Yes, 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 yes. So happy to see you guys here. So, I'm Tia Lynn Johnson. I am the co-founder of Three Little Bluebirds Boutique. I have a lot of other titles, but I am not to mention them here. Like many small business owners, we've experienced both the beauty and the challenges of trying to build something meaningful in this city. My extended family has been here for 68 years, so we've been around. One thing I've learned is that community support and local partnership can truly make the difference between a business surviving or closing their doors. My sister-in-law, who is my other founder, and I, we bootstrap our business completely by ourselves, okay? So my question for you guys is, what role, if any, should the city play in utilizing public land, redevelopment tools, incentives, rehabilitation programs, or adaptive reuse strategies to support the activation of underused properties, including storefront incubators, affordable commercial spaces, or programs that help local entrepreneurs activate vacant storefronts? And I just want to make sure that you guys hear my question so that you will answer the question, because I'm curious to find out what that answer is.
Thank you. We can start with Rick. And just a reminder to the candidates, the questions are on this screen behind you, or in front of you.
Well, that question has
It's a long.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, the question has a lot of answers, but here we go. Keep everything local and affordable housing. I would like to have a downtown high-density housing with no yards. That makes it affordable. Some of these other cities that I've seen, I've taken a trip to see. A lot of them have just their front porch. Around the block, you have downtown, and that's what I'm going to specify in downtown. I want to be able to go up high-rise, and where the mall's at now. I want to have at least a 15-floor high-rise senior housing. I want to be able to sell condos with a restaurant on top, cafe, gym, everything you need, but that goes first. And once we have the housing, then we go ahead and start building all around your entertainment, your restaurants, eateries. I would like to see all these restaurants. I mean, they're not the taco stands I'm telling you about. I want them inside buildings, and I want to make it affordable for that, because if you want to have, you're going to have grease traps. You're going to have some situations where these buildings they're going to have to come up with all the regulations. We can help these small businesses do that, get them off the street. In downtown area, I want to close Court Street and keep Arrowhead, D and E straight, keep going through, but I want to close Court Street, and I want to be able to modify the SBX bus line so we can have turn pockets and then pick them up on the shoulders, because none of that would happen if we don't have the room for the streets. Thank you.
This is a long question. I just want you guys to know that. This is a long one. But because we have such a vibrant small business community, we have to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to support the business you've already started. And then those who are bringing in new business to San Bernardino, make sure that you have the tools that you need to be successful. So I go back to saying we have to have a blueprint so that when you do business in San Bernardino, you know exactly what you need to do, and you don't have all the red tape. I've seen and I've talked to so many people who are running around in circles because they are not given concise answers, and that is something that we need to change. We need to change the process, the permitting processes, and we have to stop making permitting so difficult. We act like we want people to not do business with San Bernardino rather than us welcoming them in. So we need to make sure that we have answers for people when they call and they are asking the questions, and that is something that we have not had thus far. So we need to also start giving incentives to small business owners so that they do want to come downtown and have storefronts. We need mixed-use store buildings so that we are utilizing some of the buildings that we have right now. We can refurbish those buildings, reuse those buildings, have apartments or living space upstairs, and then we have storefronts downstairs. Work with some of the property owners so that they are giving a break to small business owners so that they are either giving no rent or low rent for the first 6 months to a year so that the business can get on their feet, they can get stable, and then we have foot traffic coming downtown. San Bernardino, the city of San Bernardino, City Hall needs to help promote our businesses. We need to have festivals downtown. We need to have different events downtown so that we are bringing foot traffic to the people who are opening their business. It goes around. We need to work with the business owners, and the business owners in turn will work with the city to promote their business.
Thank you, Amy.
A lot in one question. But thank you for the question. It's really good. One of the things that I've done immediately when I became mayor was that to explore ways to think outside the box, not looking at the problem of the system, but looking at how we can improve the system, but also thinking outside the box. So what I did was that I try to go and be part of and participate in programs that is actually no cost to the taxpayers, such as the Mayor's Institute for City Design through Bloomberg. And they invited me to go to Boston to meet with other few mayors to talk about how do we improve our city. And I brought forward the downtown and said, what can we do with this downtown? And it's really just taking feedback from experts throughout the nation. I have the document to be able to share to the staff, but it's been challenging when I've had so many transition on city managers, and we are just now hiring an economic development director just recently. So having the team and sharing what I was able to bring back and say, look, think outside the box. Think about exploring pilot programs for pop-ups and really restore those vacant buildings and bring life to the city. When I see Boston doing that, when I see other cities doing that, that is what we need to really follow the footsteps that has been successful. Riverside, what have they done to really ignite that? Arts and culture is a big deal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. That was my first time ever hearing about Boston. So I think as a mayor, the first thing that you want to do is if you do decide to go traveling, that you need to come back and show a return on investment, okay? So if you go out and you're doing all this training and you're going and meeting with different communities, come back and show us something as a community. You know, one thing about utilizing public land, let's be honest and frank, folks. We need to know all the city buildings, every land that the city owns, we need to know what it is. And I state that because the county's coming in here and they're taking over a lot of our hotels, they're taking over a lot of our buildings for shelters. That's not going to help us bring up our economy here in San Bernardino. So that's the first thing that we need to do is to get a control on that. You know, the city of San Bernardino, we only make our money off of our sales tax. So we need to have a good downtown. We need to have strong economic development because all the other things that we have listed here don't even matter, honestly. You're not going to be able to afford a home unless you have a job. You're not going to be able to have a job unless you have a good downtown and good community and good businesses. I'm not talking about fast food. I'm not talking about storage facilities. I'm not talking about gas stations. But we need to have really good businesses so that people can have affordable housing. They can afford the affordable housing. Okay? Folks are just living here. They're just sleeping here, but they're going to other communities to do their business. Okay? And that's an issue. That's a problem. We need to be able to provide encouragement for these small businesses to want to come here, as well as think of different ways that we can activate our downtown. There's lots of ways that we can do that. Give breaks to different businesses. I love the idea of having the mixed use, but once again, it sounds really good, all and dandy, but the first thing we have to do, folks, is start cleaning up this city when it comes to our homeless and take control of our community. Stop allowing other communities to dump their people here. Stop allowing the county to come in and take over all of our businesses for eminent domain.
Thank you.
As your mayor, as your leader, you have to understand where we have problems and how to come up with solutions. As a business owner as well, I've pulled permits here in our city. To pull a re-roof permit, it took me a couple of days. I go to another city in Riverside, it's over the counter. Unacceptable. Our customer service here in our city is not very good. We don't have guidelines. Like one of the other candidates mentioned, you talk to a different person, and each person tells you something different. Or they give you a new laundry list. They tell you to go back and revise your application and come back with 5-10 items. You submit those 5-10 items, and they want another 5-10 items. Instead of being customer service friendly and helping the applicant, because this is revenue to our city. Licenses, permits, development. This is revenue that's coming into our city, and we got to be more customer service oriented. The other thing is we have general plans, specific plans, downtown plans, park plans, development, municipal codes that are outdated, unacceptable. Who has not been doing their job? And if you're going to do your job in our city, you either have to step up or step down. We have plenty of talent here that wants to fulfill the positions in our city. So how do we help small business owners? Again, educate, inform, offer resources, tools that are available here in the city. And we got to start with the current businesses that we have that are active here in our city and connect them with city councils, city staff, loans, opportunities to be successful, tell them about commercial vacant lots that are here in the city, offer workshops on a monthly basis, and I will say economic development has done a fabulous job of educating and informing some of our businesses today. One of them is, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, candidates. Building on that conversation, our next section focuses on youth opportunity, workforce development, creative industries, and career pathways. Community members throughout San Bernardino have raised questions about internships, apprenticeships, creative workforce training, public creative spaces, and the role arts and media industries can play in local economic development. I will invite Andy from Inland Congregation United for Change, and Bertha Estrada, founding member of Future First and business partner of Apex Lighting and Grip, to ask questions.
Thank you. What policies, partnerships, or funding strategies would you prioritize to expand paid youth internships, apprenticeships, and creative workforce opportunities in collaboration with schools, community organizers, local businesses, and city departments?
So we'll start with Amy.
I'm looking around. Thank you. So we have some great programs in our local schools. I've had an opportunity to visit several of our high schools, and I don't know if you guys know this, but our children are doing incredible work. I've gone to one that has a printing shop, one that has a bake shop, one that they are creating their own brands, and they're selling those brands in the schools. The way we help those young people is we bring them into our business, let them work as interns, allow them to understand how it works in real world situations so that they can take that experience back to the school and help others. And we need to continue that. Internships is how I started in my career. I started as an intern at Capitol Records, and that internship turned into a full career. And that is what we can do for our young people. We need to teach one, bring one. Help them to understand that there are a lot of different careers in this world right now. And just sitting on this stage, there are several different careers. So give them opportunities that are outside of the box. Let our young people know that they don't have to have one pathway. There's not just a pathway to a warehouse or a fast food job or a car wash. That they can do anything they want to do, whether that be them create their own business or they get into an industry that maybe everybody doesn't feel is the most popular. And also provide them with what the future looks like. What industries are going to be popular 10, 15, 20 years from now, and start preparing our young people for those industries. That means connecting with our schools and connecting at a young age, elementary, junior high, high school, and through college. Providing mentorship programs so that our young people are not being left behind. That's what I think we should do. Thank you.
Thank you. So one of the things that I want to make sure we bring back that former Councilwoman Kim Calvin championed is the Youth Council, and make sure that we have a council that supports that effort. We have to remind ourselves that the mayor cannot bring forward a policy without the council support, and so that's huge. One of the things that I struggled with when I came in as mayor is I wanted to bring in interns and volunteers, and I was unable to do that because the council created a policy to prevent that due to the former prior administration on how he conducted with his former staff. And so those are things so you have to understand that you have to ensure that you elect council that supports our youth to create policies to support those efforts. So in the meantime, when I have been your mayor for the last 3 years, 5 months, what I do is I engage with the school district, very much so supporting their efforts, going to the schools, speaking to the children, speaking to the kids about government, city government, informing them, educating them how being engaged in your community is so important, understanding the roles of mayor and city council and our structure as the current charter. So a lot of those things is making sure that our community is informed and educated so that way we are supporting future policies that will come back to support our youth. Again, making sure you're, as the mayor, is supporting the efforts of the school district, the college campuses, Cal State San Bernardino, and San Bernardino Valley College, and that was a huge deal for me. So I have done a lot to establish those strong relationships. Thank you.
So I've heard the term internships a lot, and I'm so for it. I'm so for the internships because that's actually one of the ways that I was able to progress was because I had a very good mentor. Being an intern or being a mentor is something that you have to take very seriously. And I press that because we have a tendency here to use that word very freely, internship. And I've seen this where the mentors aren't necessarily presenting the best role model. And so that being said, I would recommend definitely having collaborations with our Valley College, Cal State University, thinking of ways that these graduates that are getting ready to graduate, different programs that are available to them, as well as job opportunities. There are a lot of people that don't want to go to college, and that's fine. In that case, then we need to start thinking of different industries that they can actually play a significant role in. So HVAC would be an example. We need to think of electricians. We need to think of different types of industries that are going to stay sustainable, especially in today's AI age. Things are happening very quickly, and there are certain professions that I would highly encourage people to look into, especially at a high school age. We don't have that in the schools anymore. We don't encourage children, our young youth, to think outside the box. They're running around trying to figure out how to do I go to college? How do I fill out an application? There's no real strong mentors here available for our youth. Furthermore, I'm really, really big on, like I said, the trade schools. I know that we have the Bebop Center, which is down the way, which goes over the AI programs and the different types of things that are available. My husband is an aerospace engineer, and one of the things that his company does is they really do advocate to come into schools and provide different types of education just to get children involved. Unfortunately, here in San Bernardino, we don't have that. There's a lot of kids that are out here roaming the streets. They're doing things they're not supposed to. They're being led by people that aren't helping them, and we need to change that. So,
Thank you.
So when I was in school in college, I was an intern from 08 to 2012. What our city needs, again, is we have to open doors, offer opportunities, and be welcoming. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of our commissions, advisories, and committees are non-active. That's a perfect chance for an internship or a young person that really wants to be part of our city and be engaged, work with businesses, work with residents. That's an opportunity that we are overseeing. Paid internships are huge, and I think our city needs to offer more of those. As an intern, I learned a lot. I learned a lot in my construction field. The first couple of months I was filing papers, but I got to work with engineers, cities, consultants, and I think our young generation these days, everybody in their life should have 1, 2, or 3 role models or mentors in their life that can guide them. And I've always had someone that was way brighter than I am because I wanted to be a better person. And that's what I think our residents and some of the businesses that are in our city are lacking. They don't know who to contact. They don't know how to get engaged. They don't know how to get involved. And again, this is why we need our Rotary, our Chamber of Commerce, and certain workshops and programs to be active in our city. And we need to engage with residents and businesses. And that's what I'm going to do as the mayor. I'm going to work with every individual, businesses, residents, to offer these resources and make them successful. That's what I plan to do. Thank you.
As a kid, I was in the Upward Bound. I don't know if anybody remembers that program. We got paid to do specific jobs with the YMCA, and it showed once you work, get that paycheck, it's really rewarding. And I remember in 10th grade, we had to put, what do you want to do when you grow up? I wanted to be a firefighter and a bulldozer operator. And I did them both. And I stuck with my father with a construction business. But I think that's what we have to do at a young age, high school, college, is let these internships, let them get involved in some of these careers that they're going to be choosing. Let them pick and choose what career they want to do, and you have to know what type of pay they're going to want to do too as well. Because some of these internships, it depends on the pay they're going to get, and if they really love that job. And they're going to we have to get them, have them involved, hands-on some of these projects that we do have, some of these businesses, and show them how to even start the business, either through loans or grants. But we have to start them at a young age and get them involved in the real business world. Thanks.
Thank you. Good answers from most of you.
Hi, hello. My question is, how would you approach making San Bernardino more welcoming to film, media, and creative productions while encouraging local hiring, workforce development, and investment within the city?
Yeah, we'll start with Helen.
the biggest thing is to make sure that you meet the folks in that industry and to have a relationship and to understand what San Bernardino City can do to support those efforts, because there's always an opportunity, and we could be the leading, leading those efforts to make sure that, we are ensuring that we don't miss any opportunities. And the fact that we have KVCR, we have local media, i.e. ASEAN, local media that really supports the local news here, that is key. And so continuing to have a relationships with those who are in that industry and understand the needs and the steps to ensure that success does happen is critical as the mayor. And so for me is making sure, we have the open dialogue and meeting with those folks. So, making sure the staff sits with you. And I always tell the city manager, look, if we have an opportunity, I need you to be in the forefront because you're the one who drives the results, not me. And again, with understanding the city's government structure, it's important. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the neat thing is I actually come from a family of filmmakers. My stepmother's, my aunt, I guess you call her my aunt, she's actually a filmmaker and has won many awards for that. And I know the struggle and how hard it is. For those of you that are in film or any type of media production, it's difficult. It's not easy because you have to encounter a lot of things. You have to encounter, one, real news versus fake news. You have to build your business from the ground up, oftentimes. They're homegrown, grassroots. So what I would do to encourage local hiring, workforce development, and investment within the city, specifically around film and media, is get out there and meet the film and media people. In addition, I would promote it through social media. I know that's a big thing right now. Social media is a big thing. So I would definitely get out there, meet with the different artists, different filmmakers, and in social media. But I would also preface that with social media, don't get too caught up and believe that it's often reality. A lot of people think that when they see something, they think it's real, right? You can go over to any of these pages and you can click a like and it'll give you 100 likes for one like. So just being transparent, getting out, meeting with the different artists, people that are interested in doing that type of field, encouraging them, and supporting them, giving them the different resources that are available to them. I know it's difficult, it's not easy to be a filmmaker, but also promoting it through social media, promoting their work, their projects. We have our California Theater there, bringing them together at the California Theater and showing their different artistic capabilities. We can do film showcase. I know that we've done that in different cities and showcasing their talents. And that's what I would do.
Thank you.
So like I mentioned earlier, as your mayor, if there's any problems, we have to have solutions. A mayor really needs to understand how the city operates. I want to make connections. If there's any student that's in elementary, college, or after postgraduate from college, and he wants to pursue a career, I'm the person that's going to be able to connect them. Our city staff should have answers within 24 hours. Work with our schools. I know we have the Orange Show the fair every year. I've seen a lot of displays of arts at our fair. Maybe we can consider having a film festival in our city. And we got to work with schools. We got to work with the young generations. I know I have a friend that might know someone that's in film media, that's an influencer, and we got to connect them. If that person wants to pursue that career, we need to make the connection. So that's what I want to do. I want to deliver results, answers to our residents, our businesses, connect people that really want to pursue something in their career, and work closely with them. Offer training, have our economic development post on our website when trainings are going to be available, what events are coming to our state or Southern California that they can participate, where they can possibly meet their future person that's going to help them be part of their success or their career. So that's what we need to do. We need to be inviting, opening doors, building relationships, engaging with residents and businesses, and that's what I plan to do. Like I'd mentioned earlier as well, we have to have role models and mentors for these people, because the young generation sometimes need to be directed and they need support. They need someone that has the experience And we need to connect, and that's why I'm saying we need to have these programs, workshops available here in our city so the person can be connected and be successful. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a mayor, having a film industry, I would surround myself with a lot of talent that's in that industry. I would put San Bernardino on the map, and I would team up with people like San Manuel, the entertainment business. It's not a secret, we do have a lot of movies filmed here in the city of San Bernardino and in adjacent cities. But this one goes back to the other question about internship. This is another career that some of our kids can prosper in. And I would concentrate a lot of media, and we're going to be competing with Hollywood. And I would like to have, give them incentives to come here to the city of San Bernardino, but we have all the resources, and we are going to be a growing city, and we will, as a mayor, I'll put this city back on the map. Thanks.
So as someone who's worked in that industry for well over 35 years, I can tell you San Bernardino it's all about the location, and we have everything that is needed to shoot big films, big budget films, independent films. We have the mountains, we have desert, there's a lake that's close by, we have a beautiful cityscape. We have everything that's needed, except no one knows we're here. So that means we have to get the information to those who create and develop projects in Hollywood. We have the space out here for production companies. All we have to do is start talking to the studios, talking to the production companies, letting them know that we have the space out here. You don't have to go to Van Nuys. You don't have to go to the Valley. We have everything that you need right here to shoot your project, and then give tax incentives. Give incentives for them to shoot out here. We need to also welcome our young people, young talent. We have all the talent in the world, a talent pool right here. We can pull our build production companies right here. We can have artists, we can have the actors here, we can have the grips here. We can provide everything that they have in Hollywood. I guarantee you we have it here. We just haven't let them know that we are here. And that's the thing that we need to do. So as the next mayor, what I will do is sit down with our city manager, sit down with our city council, propose to them what it can look like if we start to really utilize this beautiful city that we have. We start to utilize the space that we have and bring people here. I would bring in producers, bring in studio heads so that they can have a tour of San Bernardino and see what we have to offer, and then utilize our local talent as a part of the deal. If they want to shoot here, we will give tax credit, but you also have to do part of your hiring here in San Bernardino. That is how we can get that industry here, and that's how we can build on what we already have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next section focuses on culture, identity, and community belonging, focusing on cultural districts and corridors, LGBTQ+ community visibility, and how cities support community-driven cultural development. Residents throughout San Bernardino have discussed how arts and culture, local history, and cultural identity contribute to neighborhood vitality, tourism, public pride, and economic activity. I will now invite Miriam Nieto from SB Generation Now for our next question.
Hi. Oh man, I'm short. Hi everybody, my name is Miriam Nieto. I am an organizer, grassroots organizer, long time here in San Bernardino. And my question is, what role, if any, do you believe the city should play in exploring community-led cultural district in San Bernardino, including LGBTQ+ cultural district, historical, and other districts, as part of the city's cultural and economic development efforts? Thank you.
The slides are a little off, so if anybody needs a question before it gets up, just let me know. And we'll start with Ronnika. It's your turn again. Do you have yours?
Oh, yeah, I have it. Sorry, I keep losing. Oh, my goodness. Can the question come up, please?
So what role, if any, do you believe the city should play in exploring community-led cultural districts in San Bernardino, including LGBTQ+ cultural districts, historical, and other districts, as part of the city's cultural and economic development efforts?
Okay, I strongly believe in this. I think the city should play a significant role. And on the slide, do you mind putting the question back up there?
I think they're working.
Okay, thank you so much. But anyways, like I was saying, I think that the city plays a huge role in this. The city of San Bernardino, we have a lot of history here in the city of San Bernardino. We have Route 66. We have our Arrowhead Hotel that Yamava, I believe, owns that one there. We have our downtown, which has a ton of history here. But we're not utilizing that. We're not. Instead, we're just giving the city away. So I think that we need to change the trajectory, change the thought process, and really think about what are some ways in which we can encourage people to want to come to the city, and one of those ways is actually through these cultural corridors. I know in Los Angeles, I'll give you an example, they have Little Ethiopia, they have Little Italy, they have all these little eclectic areas which have so much history and value, it makes people feel very prideful to be in their community. So what I would do is I would recommend as a mayor to get together with the community and let the community decide what do those corridors need to look like. We have our 5th Street. We have our Mount Vernon Bridge. There's just so much opportunity that is within the city that we can maximize these corridors. But first and foremost, we have to bring in the business owners. We have to bring in the residents. We have to bring in the city council. That's going to be one of the challenges as the mayor. You have to be able to round everybody up and continue to have the same vision and to focus on that vision and in that toxicity so that we can have these corridors. And so that's it.
As your mayor, like I had mentioned earlier, the Arts, Historic and Preservation Commission, we have to activate that commission and work closely with the residents and businesses. Another thing that we have in our city is we have many ethnicities, and we have to recognize each ethnicity's culture, their celebrations, collaborate, facilitate, and have events throughout our city, possibly on a quarterly basis or maybe even monthly, so we can learn to have some understanding, some learning about other cultures. What I would envision is in downtown, we have a cookout or a cultural meal event where every culture comes out and makes a special dish so we can have some engagement with these different cultures. Businesses can attend, residents. I would work closely with our commission to recognize all the art pieces that we have here in our city. California Theater. We have many historic areas, a lot of murals, paintings. I know that we had the block grant, which I really enjoyed because we get to see more of the art in our city. And like I was mentioning, we have to engage. We have to educate, inform. We have to work together. We have to have events throughout our city that brings our community residents together, that brings our businesses together as well. And as your leader, as your mayor, we have to be that facilitator. We have to be that influencer. We have to be that collaborator. And that's how we'll have more enjoyment with our cultures and businesses and residents. We have to have events. We have to bring life back down to downtown. We have to revitalize. Thank you.
I would like to make the city of San Bernardino a destination. This city has a lot of cultural, iconic items. Like the late Ralph Hernandez fought to keep that Santa Fe stack, and that Santa Fe stack is known nationwide. A few other things, even the very same building we're in. But what I would like to have is, it's already a destination for McDonald's. This is the first McDonald's we've had, and it's known worldwide. But there is a situation that the corporation of McDonald's doesn't claim San Bernardino to be number one, first McDonald's. I would like to get that clear and advertise that a little bit more. But I would like to also have, different ideas on Mount Vernon. That's the true Route 66. Now, we have other cities that are taking our Route 66 away from us, and nobody's stepping up and doing anything about it. We did have the Route 66 rendezvous. The reason why we got rid of that because of the the bus is in the way. But I would have patented that for 99 years. So somebody would have had to buy that Route 66 for 99 years. It brought in millions of dollars every year. And getting rid of that, I want to bring that back. I want to bring cruising back on East Street. Mount Vernon, I want a little Olvera Street, and it's going to be all San Bernardino, Route 66. I even want to pinpoint where Sammy Davis Jr. was in that car accident on Cajon Boulevard. Here in San Bernardino. So I want to bring city of San Bernardino back, and I want to make it a destination. We have the airport, planes, trains, and automobiles. We have it all here. I want them to land here and then go from here wherever they got to go. Thanks.
San Bernardino is a diverse mixture of cultures, people. If you look next to you, look around this room, look on this stage. The diversity in this room is what makes San Bernardino special. Uniting San Bernardino and the residents of San Bernardino is the job of City Hall, and it's definitely the job of the mayor. And it's something that I would make a priority. One San Bernardino, we are one. Supporting each other in all of our cultures is what we need to do. I would love to see us turn downtown San Bernardino into the Taste of San Bernardino, where we have food trucks and vendors that celebrate all of their different cultures, and that's something that brings our families out, because that's what we need. We need to unite our families, and we need to unite the people of San Bernardino. That is something that City Hall needs to work very hard to do, and it's something that we can do, but we have to celebrate what's special about us. And again, what's special is look next to you. There was a time when all of us would not be sitting in a room together, but we are now. That's what we are. That's who we are. And so I want to see us celebrate the culture of San Bernardino. Somebody said something about a film festival. I'm the talent director and the publicist for one of the largest film festivals in the nation. That festival brings over 10,000 people to the city. If we could do that here, and it's something that I took to City Hall and said, hey, we can open this up. This is something that we can do. Let's start a film festival here. Let this be a week-long festival, and it's something that we could actually do and start an annual thing. That would bring thousands of visitors, unique visitors, to San Bernardino, and then we would become that destination location. And that cultural film festival could celebrate all of our different colors, cultures, and the people that we are. It will show people who San Bernardino is.
Thank you.
So what role can a city play in exploring community-led cultural district in San Bernardino, including LGBTQ and other historical factors? And I've always said this, and I agree with my colleague who just mentioned here about the diversity of our city. We are an international city, big time. And the fact that we have to recognize all cultures, all backgrounds, is so critical to the backbone of fabric of our city. And so the fact that we have deep history, deep cultures in our city, it's important that we are always supporting the efforts of the community. There has been a call to action by the community, and that was the California Arts Council Cultural District designation that began in 2025. We must continue that. We must support that. We must engage with our community to say, how do we make that happen for sure? It's not going to delay that. And so that is a big deal, is when you hear what's happening, what the community is wanting, we are elected to listen to the community and be part of that. We have to make sure that we understand that the Mount Vernon cruising in the west side is supported, and we continue to support the car clubs and the west side on the cruising in Mount Vernon. If you have not gone to a Sunday cruising in Mount Vernon, beautiful. And the cars, the community, the love, that is amazing. To support those efforts, to bring in Route 66 back to San Bernardino, and to intertwine, to connect those things, to ensure that we are, I brought in the Lunar New Year, which is another aspect of a diversity of our cultures, to show the community what diversity looks like. and that is San Bernardino. We have to continue to support our communities who want to see, who want to be seen, who want to be heard, who want to belong. So as a mayor, I'm always continuing to make sure that we are always open to listening to the community and pushing those efforts with the council, with the staff especially, and making that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. With that, we're going to take a brief 5-minute intermission. Thank you for being here, and we hope you'll stick around to continue this important conversation. We have 2 more minutes and intermission. Can we ask everybody to take their seats, please? We're ready to get started. Can we get everybody back to their seats, please?
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Welcome back from intermission, everyone. We'll now shift our focus on housing, affordability, displacement, homelessness, and community preservation. Residents across San Bernardino continue to raise questions about how growth and development can happen while also protecting existing communities, renters, artists, small businesses, and longstanding neighborhood institutions. I will now invite Sonia Gray-Hun from Congregations Organized for Prophetic Engagement for our next question.
I'll mess this up. Good evening, everyone. I think this is going to pop out. Okay, I'm going to hold it just in case. What strategies or policies would you pursue to expand affordable housing opportunities, meet the city housing goals, and encourage a range of housing options for current and future residents?
And we'll be starting with Ivan.
So as your mayor, I've served on the Planning Commission for almost 4 years. It'll be in October. I've had the pleasure and been very fortunate to attend the Planning Commissioner Conference. Our city currently has a shortage of housing of about approximately 8,000 units. By 2030, we're supposed to build more affordable housing, more housing in the city. We need to focus on the zoning, the rezoning. Our general plan that I've been harping about is outdated. It's taken about 7 years to update. Very, very unacceptable. And like an addition to some of our other plans that we have here in our city. So as a planning commissioner, or I'm sorry, as a mayor, what I'd like to plan forward and make it better is we need to streamline development projects in our city and work tirelessly to update these plans. And work closely with applicants, businesses, developers, and be inviting. If there's a developer that's willing to come revitalize our downtown, my first thing that I would do as a mayor is have a sit down with the different departments, offer different zoning areas, offer information that's going to be required as part of the development project. Don't set up red tape, don't set up hurdles, don't set up speed bumps. Our customer service needs to improve here in our city. And we need to work on bettering, not getting rid of city staff members, because that's also hurting us. Before you get rid of someone, make sure you have his replacement. So as your mayor, that's what I'm going to do with housing. I'm going to work with applicants, developers, businesses. Again, there's Senate bills, Assembly bills that sometimes we have to abide by. And they're being rolled out every year, every 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've talked about this already before, the high-density housing in the city of San Bernardino. I want to see a high-rise with condos. That way people can afford a condo. And houses without yards, and you would have to put those on like D Street, off a block away from the main street, East Street. You get out of your door, you open your door, you're on the sidewalk, around the corner you got your all development, entertainment, all the restaurants, eateries. But like my opponent said, the city hall needs to be fixed. They sub too many things out. I've been involved in major developments, and it takes too long to get your plans either revised or checked because they sub that out. And I would like to, years ago we had everybody in-house, our plan checkers, we had inspectors, everybody on site, and these projects never stopped. We had somebody calling the shots out in the field, and that's what we need again. We need everybody, all those subs that they're hiring, we need them all in-house. And when it comes to permits, I would give incentives to some of these investors and developers. Waive those the permits, waive the fees. Let these people start building. It takes too long for these permits. One of my opponent said last time that it takes 9 months to widen the driveway. I can get that over the counter. I've done that over the counter before. It's just when you sub it out to a company, they get more money when it takes more time. And when they're plan checking, I want to see how much they're actually paying these subcontractors, because everything should be in-house. It'd be a lot cheaper for developers and investors, and it'll save the city a lot more money. Thank you.
Thank you.
As the new mayor, my first priority will be working with City Council and our city manager. We can't develop a plan, we can't do anything until we are on one accord and we are aligned. Once we become aligned with each other, once we have an understanding of how our work environment will be and how we will work together, then we will develop a plan that is actionable. I know that there are probably plans already in place, and what I don't believe in is starting over if we don't have to start over. If there's a plan that the city is already working on for affordable housing, I know that we are working on a plan with a company called Jamboree to bring affordable housing into to the city of San Bernardino, and that was something that former council member Kim Calvin brought to us. But there are other developers who also will be willing to come in if they feel like they can work with the city. Right now, there's such a stigma against the city of San Bernardino and our council and mayor and city manager that they don't want to be bothered with coming into this city because they feel like it's going to be a headache. But that's something that is fixable. That's something we can work on. And that means coming together, communicating with each other, developing a plan that is actionable, a plan and setting goals that we can actually meet. Then we need a citywide dashboard that shows each and every resident of San Bernardino what projects we have in their ward. They're able to see what projects we're working on, the timeline for that project, the budget for that project, and then what type of housing. Will it be affordable housing, medium housing? What will it be? So that you already know what is coming, and we can start working towards those goals, and you can hold City Hall accountable when those projects are not finished on time. Right now, we need to work on transparency, accountability, and working together to develop affordable housing for the residents of San Bernardino.
What strategies or policies I, as a mayor, would pursue to expand affordable housing opportunities in our city, and I've done just that when I came in. Continuing the work that former Councilwoman Kim Calvin, and which Amy had mentioned, the Jamboree affordable housing on the west side, ensuring that that comes to fruition, that does not stop, that's not slow down. And we have several affordable housing in the pipeline right now. And just so you know, we currently have real estate owned property that we have opened up for purchase over the past few years to affordable housing developers. We do have several projects in the pipeline throughout San Bernardino that will offer 150 additional units per development. I just recently met a affordable housing developer that wanted to get my input, and this would be in downtown, that would bring, I believe, a little over 200 high-quality affordable homes in the heart of downtown, and this would integrate housing with transportation, pedestrian pathways, green infrastructure. This development would support greenhouse gas reduction goals while improving access to transit services and opportunities for residents. What I did ask the developer and say, what are you doing to embrace the arts and culture of our community? Because you're just not too far from the Garcia Center. And that was a big deal, because I said you have to work with the community to ensure we are including the arts and culture into our development, because that creates the economic boom. Thank you.
All right, so I've heard the term that we're not open for business. That's actually not true. The city of San Bernardino is very much open for business. Unfortunately, we're open for business for social services. So we need to have, yes, affordable housing, but we have to have jobs here. We have to make the city desirable for people to want to live here. Unfortunately, because of homeless influx, unfortunately, because of a lot of these corrupt nonprofits that we have, over 344, in which they get paid off of keeping our city in a welfare state. If we do not audit, first and foremost, everything that's been mentioned up here just doesn't even really matter, folks. Let's face reality. The city of San Bernardino has had millions of dollars that have come in for affordable housing. We've had millions of dollars that have come in for our shelter. We've had millions of dollars that have come in for various different programs to help our community. Where's the money? Because I certainly don't see it. That being said, we need to stop these backdoor developer deals. We need to stop allowing our hotels, for example, to be taken over into shelters and things of that nature. We also need to make it, like I said, Ivan mentioned there's 8,039 homes that need to be built. That is a state mandate. We don't have a choice on that. They have to be built, all right? So we need to make sure that we're following, of course, the regulations and the rules in order to do that, but we have to have jobs here for our people to be able to afford the homes. Unfortunately, a lot of people that live in the city of San Bernardino, they don't do business here, they go outside. They actually don't even work here. They work in a different city. The city of San Bernardino, as a mayor, the first thing I would do is I'd go get our property taxes back. Because right now, we get no revenue off of our property taxes. It's just off of the sales revenue, sales tax. How many of you do business in the city of San Bernardino? Raise your hand. Okay, I've got 2 hands that have
Thank you,
raised.
Ronnika.
Not that many.
Thank you, that's time.
So we need to change that.
Thank you, candidates. Our final section tonight will focus on parks, libraries, public space, infrastructure, cultural assets, and community-centered activation. Many community members have expressed interest in safer, greener, and more active public spaces, along with stronger partnerships between the city and organizations already serving neighborhoods throughout San Bernardino. I now invite Alejandro Gutierrez from Arts Connection and Arts Council of San Bernardino, and Michael Segura from the Garcia Center to ask questions on this topic.
Thank you so much, Denise. Good evening, candidates, community members. My question is, how would you approach city policies, permitting processes, or partnerships that support community organizations activating parks, libraries, vacant lots, and public spaces through arts and cultural community-led programming?
And we'll start with Rick.
I've already covered that permitting process as I've gone through it as a contractor, and I know what needs to be done. You have to give them incentives when it comes to permits, waive the fees. It's going to take enough time to just draw the set of plans on a project. It's going to take months. So once they have that, it takes several months to even follow those permitting process. I want to waive all that time. And as soon as I want to concentrate on that high-density housing. Once we start a 15-story building, you know how many jobs it's going to bring just on that project. Once you build a housing, you're going to be able to have about 2,000 or 3,000 people living downtown. Once we have that building start under construction, you're going to have all the restaurants, you're going to have a lot of entertainment. There's going to be plenty of jobs for several years once that building starts. If you look at all the other cities, they're continuing building, but you have to have the housing first, and then you build all your development. Once you bring the people in, you build it, they'll come. Thank you.
I keep going back to our city council and our city manager, because that is who the mayor has to work with in order to push anything through. And that is what I would do. I would sit down with our city council, sit down with our city manager, and discuss why the process for the permitting and the licensing is not streamlined. Right now, we see it's broken, and it has been broken for a long time, but no one has stepped in to fix it. So my job will be to go in, ask them to walk me through the process. What is it that is needed when people come here and they want to build, whether they want to open a community center, whatever it is they need to do? What are the processes so that we can then streamline those processes and make sure that everyone understands that we are not just doing business as usual. We have a process in place, and this is how it is done. Put that process in black and white so that everyone is referring to the same thing, and we're getting the same answers. And then I will connect with all of our great community organizers here. And I know that there's been a lot of talk against nonprofits, but there are some nonprofits doing amazing work. We're in a building right now that is a nonprofit, and you guys are doing amazing work. So I will not sit here and speak against nonprofits. I think it's disrespectful. What we need to do is have an audit, create an audit to make sure that the nonprofits are doing the work that they say that they're going to do. There are a lot of vacant lots. Let's utilize those lots. Let's do more of the community gardens. Let's work with these nonprofits that have great ideas and make sure that we can help them bring those ideas to fruition, but make sure that there is an audit of it, that they are held accountable for what funds they get, if they get grants, or any processes that they are working on, anything that they are trying to bring to the city of San Bernardino. We just have to stay on top of it and make sure that the job gets done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So one of the things that I always ask is what's not working, and let's look at it and really look at it from an innovative and outside the box approach. And so I participated and we got the acceptance through the Mayor's Innovation Project through Bloomberg. Again, no cost to taxpayers. This is something that they invite mayors who are looking at ways to improve their city. And this was looking at the permitting process, the business process, and identifying if we have a one-stop shop, which we don't, which we need to look into. And so I have a staff member, one staffer in the staff that had looked at other communities and looked at what was working and how we could bring that back to City of San Bernardino and implement it. And so presenting that to the city manager, to the staff, say, hey, this is what's broken. How do we improve it? And this is through the Mayor's Innovation Project through Bloomberg, thinking outside the box. What's available to the city to say, this is what you can do. And so that's what we just did recently. And so with the now permanent city manager who's been on for 9 months, this is what I handed over. Look at this, please. You and your staff, get on it right away. The things that we want to support in the community is such as Soul Alley, formerly 4th Street Alley. There was a ribbon cutting July 18th of 2024. And this is to transform neglected spaces with the business folks and say, hey, how do we improve these spaces with grant funds? It was a funding and partnership, $722,000 Clean California grant, working with Public Works Department, Arts Connection, Arts Council of San Bernardino County, Creative Grounds, RealCore. Again, this is community partnership to make sure that we improve the public spaces, and then parks, libraries, vacant lots, everything that we can do to say, how can we make this work? But if we don't have the ability, let's look what's outside. Thank you.
Okay. So how would I approach city policies, permitting processes, and partnerships that support community organizations activating parks, libraries, vacant lots, public spaces through arts and culture community-led programs? So I would have to agree with Amy Malone when it talks about the toxicity of the city council. We all need to be very clear in regards to what the role is of the mayor. There's been a lot of really great ideas that have been thrown out here, which is awesome. However, we have to be realistic here. The mayor is a spokesperson. They are supposed to go sell the city off as best as that we can, as well as go up to the state level and look for funding and grants that can come down to the city. Unfortunately, we've had situations where we've had money that's come into the city, but where is it, right? In regards to the city council, nothing is going to change within the city of San Bernardino unless we can end the toxicity and divisiveness on the council. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of distractions that have taken place, and those distractions are intentional to get you all to lose focus of what's actually truly happening within the city. Okay? I realize that there are a lot of nonprofits. I'm not saying they're all bad, but the 5 that I just looked up randomly, one in 2022, they had about $100,000 in revenue. Right before Helen Tran became mayor, in 2025, they brought in $5 million, of which 90% went to their salaries. They're claiming to have 120 employees. The place could only hold about 20 people. So we need to really start doing an audit and find out what's happening with the money that's coming into the city of San Bernardino. I love what you just said about build it, they're gonna come. It's actually not true. I have a developer friend of mine who built some beautiful $1.5 million homes in the north section of San Bernardino, was unable to sell those homes because the university corridor became infused, I guess you can say, with homeless, drug addicts, and people with mental issues, of which it's because of our mayor, Mayor Helen Tran, who helped bring a nonprofit into our city.
Your time is up.
We need to stop that. I will. We need to stop it.
So as a community volunteer, since I moved here to the city of San Bernardino, I've been heavily involved as a volunteer. So when you vote, ask yourself, which of these other candidates have been talking and which have been delivering with actions? I've been a volunteer of We Are the Change SB. We hosted San Bernardino Food Fest to bring back life to downtown. We had Dia de los Muertos, Cinco de Mayo. We gathered food vendors. I helped coordinate that. I volunteered multiple hours of my time to bring community together and make it enjoyable and really stop the negativity that goes into our city. I also donated to the Kindle Beautification Project out of my own money. And thank you to the Garcia Center for donating plants to that project. There's other people that that say they want to be part of the change, but aren't part of the change. We had individuals that would walk by, drive by, and never even approached us to say thank you for what you're doing to our city. I've also donated to a baseball team in the city because I was reached out and they asked me if I can help out because some of the players, 11, 12, and 13, are homeless and they needed help. They didn't have any funds for jerseys, bats, baseballs, sunglasses, and bags. And I delivered. Why? Because I care and my heart's in the city and I'm not a person that's here to talk. I deliver with actions and results. So I've been heavily involved doing cleanups in the city, working with nonprofits, helping beautify, helping to change the culture that we currently have here in our city, because I've gone to city councils, all we do is talk about negativity. It's time to change and talk about our blessings, our positivity, and get people engaged that really want to change our city. Thank you.
Michael?
Hello, everyone. Before I ask or say my question, I just want to let everyone know we're going to open the Mercado. Anna's here. Well, she actually went over there to open the Mercado. So when this event's over, if you do want to shop local with our 40 creative entrepreneurs here, feel free to go check out the store. Really great place to not only support local, but buy gifts for your loved ones. So, and then also, Three Little Bluebirds is also another beautiful space to do that. A beautiful boutique downtown, and then of course local artists like Dwan's Spot. I gotta highlight everyone. I've always been asked to highlight everyone. Okay, so my question is, well, first off, let me preface this as I'm a historical and preservation commissioner, Arts and Historical Preservation Commissioner. I was on the Arts Commission before that, and one question that we've been bringing up, and Anthony was just here too, another commissioner, and he just raised, how are we preserving historical places? And I saw that also being raised by one of the community questions. So it's a great question to ask, right? And that's something we're gonna talk about right now is how should the city of San Bernardino balance new development with the preservation of historical places like this, right? We have these infrastructures, cultural assets, long-standing community organizations, and neighborhood-serving institutions, while also investing in public, creative, and STEAM infrastructure. That's science, technology, I'm like, wait, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, such as media labs, maker spaces, recording studios, and technology hubs. So thank you, and the question's up there for everyone.
And we're starting with Amy, yes.
That's a good question. Can you hear me? Okay, that's a good question. So if you look around San Bernardino has just beautiful buildings. We have history here in San Bernardino. So we really need to start working with the property owners to preserve those spaces. If we can preserve those spaces and open them up, whether they are opened up as a storefront, however, but landlords should not be able to just leave a building, let it crumble, put a border up on it, and walk away and leave it just sitting in the middle of our city. So there need to be fines for landlords and property owners who do that. If they don't want to maintain the property, they need to sell it or they need to maintain it. Those need to be the options. That's it. They need to maintain it. But then we also want to bring in new builds. We want to have labs and things that support like STEM programs and different programs. I personally would love to have a media room or a media building here. I'd like to have a production company here in the city of San Bernardino. I know there are small ones, but I think we need to have more so that young people who want to get in production, who want to do podcasts, who want to do shows, things of that nature, we have a space for them to come to. but that they can come to without having to pay, that they can come to via grants, they can come to as interns, or come to even if they have an idea that they want to sell. If they have an idea, we need to bring in business owners who are willing to sit down, listen to their idea pitches, and then decide whether or not they're going to get behind them and fund that idea for them. We just have to think outside of the box so that our residents in San Bernardino and our young people see that they can do anything that they want to do, and that the city of San Bernardino is here and we're welcoming them, and we're supporting them. So I want to see us preserve our history as well as build new ones.
So how should the city balance new development with preservation of historical places? This is a huge deal because there is deep history again, and culture and history in San Bernardino. And as we develop our city, which is a blank canvas, we have to be mindful of the community, engage the community when there's a major development, and have meetings with the community and say, hey, this is a potential development. How do you feel? Like I just mentioned about the affordable housing coming down to downtown on the East Street corridor. I did ask the question, did you meet? I would encourage you to meet with the Garcia Center, folks with when they're trying to establish our arts and cultural district, because you have to be connected. And then, making sure the staff is always reminded when they're approached with developments, and they have to let us as electeds know this is coming forward, and we need to engage. We need to start asking questions. How are they going to come in with our city, into our city? They can't just come in and say, hey, we're going to come and develop. You have to understand the city. What's the history? What's the arts and culture that exists? So we can develop the city that makes sense, that we can be proud of, that will sustain beyond our lives. So that is a very important piece. And on the STEAM and infrastructure and media labs, makerspace, work with the education institutions, work with what's existing, make sure that we are partnering with them. Like oh my gosh, I can't. He has a makerspace in Redlands, but he grew up in San Bernardino. I can't even think of his name. But we have his makerspace existing in our libraries, working with those partners to make sure that we have access to STEAM programs for our kids, because you're preparing them for the future, always thinking ahead. And I, welcome leaders in the nation and the world when they had a Defining Futures conference in Cal State, and being the most innovative ways of bringing technology, and how do we prepare our kids for the future with the workforce development. That is key, being aware of what's out there as a mayor and having the pulse, and so that you're invited in spaces to be ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would have to agree with Amy Malone when she says that we have to hold these business owners accountable. We have a lot of buildings here that have been taken over, purchased, legitimate purchases, where a lot of owners are using them as tax write-offs. You can see it. They're not trying to put any investment in them. They're just writing them off. And so because of that, we need to start really upping our code enforcement. Unfortunately, here in San Bernardino, we only have 20 code enforcements for this entire city. That's not a lot. So we need to up our code enforcement first and foremost. Another thing, if you take a look at our beautiful buildings, lately you've seen a trend. Some of you have probably seen they're burning up, right? I see you shaking your heads. Because of our influx of homeless. We have a lot of people that are unfortunately on drugs, that have mental illnesses. We need to address that first and foremost. I love the idea of having housing first, but it doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked in LA. It didn't work in San Bernardino. We need to put together some serious programs. We need to put together some serious, stick with the law, what the law says in regards to encampments, in regards to drug usage, when it comes to those types of things. We need to enforce those things, because it's not gonna help our city with our downtown and historic businesses. Love the fact that we do have a lot of media labs and spaces that are available for creatives. We have our Bebop Center. We have our Enterprise building, which is right here. It's beautiful. We need to start maximizing those spaces for people. But I'll be honest with you, businesses don't want to come to San Bernardino in the condition that it's in right now. So if we're not able to control our homelessness, if we're not able to stop allowing our city to become the dumping ground for the other cities around us, Rancho, Rialto, Fontana, they're all getting ready for the Olympics. They're building hotels, they're building houses, they're building entertainment centers. What are we building in San Bernardino? Shelters. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you agreeing with me on this one.
Thank
we're
you,
building
Ronnika.
shelters.
So as your mayor, like I'd mentioned earlier, a good, strong leader understands how a city works, where we have our strengths and where we have our weaknesses. I want to work closely with nonprofits, Art Center, and all our individuals, residents, businesses to better our city. For example, we have at our airport, we have the CSUSB new music art building that was just recently completed. How about we encourage nonprofits or art programs that we have in the city to facilitate, to use some of these buildings? Our economic development, our city staff should know what resources, what tools, what businesses are readily available to our community residents that can be partnered or used by other nonprofits or other individuals that want to use some of these buildings. We also have a train station. We have a Metrolink. We have the California Theater. When I was out door knocking, I saw a Victorian home that was built in 1889. And it's time that we begin to preserve buildings that were built in 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. I restored one of my 1926 buildings. I love my Craftsman home. So I'm doing my part. And I think it's time that our city goes out and looks for grants that can help preserve some of our existing historic buildings here in our city, because there's a lot of history here. Route 66, another thing that I have a vision on is identify those pathways. Have a sign, a monument sign, or LED signs like we had back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And encourage people to do rides during the week or work with other.
Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
As many of you know, our family roots are over 117 years. When, if anybody's going to preserve the city, is going to be somebody like myself, our family. Our grandfather, when he migrated from Italy in 1909, and our great-grandfather, he built a few houses here in the city of San Bernardino that are still up today. As a mayor, I would never knock down a historical building. Harris, I like to see that. They say it's destroyed, but I like to preserve that. The Woolworth building, I like to see it. We can preserve it. They did it in the Fox Theater in Riverside. They kept the facade outside and they built inside. It can be done. And as a mayor, I want to have a record-breaking historical sites. I want to make everything historical as much as I can. That way nobody can touch it. And my opponent, she's right. All this can't take place with the homeless. And I want to have the homeless, a homeless village on the outskirts of the city in a warehouse, 17,000 square feet, makeshift beds. All the infrastructure's there for showers, bathrooms. We have the food banks, pastors. We'll have the first responders. It's all donated. We got billions of dollars, and I think I saw it on the news today. There's a lot of money that's there for the homeless people, and we need it on at least a 5-acre estate. That way, I would rather have them hang out at the homeless village than hanging out right here across the street in our sidewalks. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. We will now be moving on to our final statements. You will have 1 minute to sum up your whatever it is you want to say, and we can start with Helen Tran at the end.
Thank you again for this forum, and I just really want to echo that over the past few years we've made some real progress, but we have a lot more ahead. I am very committed to make sure that San Bernardino comes first and is on the map. And so I'm someone who grew up here from the city, bought our first home here, raising our kids here, have experience in city government. That all helps because it creates progress and it can help facilitate that. And I'm here to make sure that San Bernardino's on the path for a stronger, more vibrant, safer, and a city that's in a prosperous path forward. And so, but it takes more than one term, and that's why I'm here to hope to earn your support to keep the progress going. Thank you.
honest with each other here, okay? Let's stop sugarcoating it. Let's stop with the photo ops. Let's stop with the mini likes. The facts are the facts, folks. Homelessness is an industrial complex. There's more money that comes into the city by keeping people in a depressed state. By keeping the city of San Bernardino in a welfare state, there's a lot of money that's coming in for that. Unfortunately, it's not to us. It's not helping us. Other cities that are around us are building up. We need to have a mayor who's going to be able to bring the council together and end that toxicity, divisiveness, and end all of the distractions, which are intentional, everyone. I am here with 25 years of learning and development experience. I've been in the city since 1984. My husband's an aerospace engineer, okay? He works at USC. He's very successful. We both are very successful. We are here in the community of San Bernardino because we want to see it grow, but it's not going to grow unless you all wake up, okay? We need to know where the money's at, where it's going, because we have the resources. This is a great community, but if we do another 4 years
thank
of
you,
this,
Ronnika, that's
we're
time.
in big trouble.
Thank you.
Tonight you heard a lot of discussion about plans, programs, and ideas. But at the end of the day, this election comes down to something very simple. Does San Bernardino continue down the same path, or do we finally demand better leadership and better results? People are tired of excuses. They are tired of political games. They are tired of watching other cities move forward while San Bernardino struggles with crime, homelessness, falling infrastructure, and economic instability. I believe the city can rise again because I believe in the people of San Bernardino. But it will take leadership focused on solutions, accountability, public safety, and bringing people together instead of dividing them. That is the kind of mayor I will be. I will deliver results. I would be honored to earn your support, and thank you. Vote Ivan Garcia.
This election is got to be one of the most important elections. This city has been ran by politicians for the last 2-3 decades, and it's all power, and it's a game to these politicians. Born and raised here with all the deep roots, I'm considered an outsider, so you figure that out. As your mayor, I don't owe anybody anything, so I go with my first day with my sleeves rolled up. Nobody's asking for any favors. I want to do what the city needs, and I know what the city needs. I was born and raised in this city, and politics, we got to get them out of the city hall, and this is a time that we can break that bead. It's a real powerful bead that's connected with a lot of politicians, not only in this city, but our surrounding cities, Congress, all the way to the White House. We got to separate the politicians. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I started, I said I'm running for mayor of this city because I have fallen in love with the people of this city, and I mean that. This city deserves better than what we've received. We deserve a plan that is an actionable plan that can be brought forth to us that we can see. And we have timelines that we're working with. That has not happened, and we need to change that. I have sat and I've had an opportunity to meet all of the candidates, and we've heard over and over that either they've grown up here, they've been here 117 years. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I want my great-granddaughter or great-grandson 120 years from now to say, my great-grandmother changed the trajectory of San Bernardino. I might not be the one who's been here the longest, but I am going to be the one to help change the economic development in this city, to change the culture of this city, and to change the toxicity in City Hall. My name is Amy Malone. AmyMalone4Mayor.com. Learn more about my campaign. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and again, thank you to all the candidates for participating in this important community conversation. That closes up the night. We appreciate everybody being here. Thank you to the San Bernardino Arts Collaborative, community partners, Just SB, Inland Congregations United for Change, i.e. Prism Collective, to the volunteers, translators, production teams, organizers, and everyone who helped make tonight possible. And thank you to all of you for showing up, staying engaged, and participating in the future of San Bernardino's creative economy. No matter where you stand politically, civic participation matters. We encourage everyone here to stay informed, involved, support local organizations and businesses, and most importantly, stay vocal and vote local. Tonight's forum will be posted online on the Just SB YouTube channel if you would like to share it or view it again. We have more programming planned for civic engagement, so stay tuned and follow our community partners. As a reminder, the first Ward Candidate Forum will be held here on Thursday, May 28th. Doors open at 5:30 and the forum will start at 6. Thank you all again for being here tonight. Have a wonderful evening and drive safe.
Ivan, can we get a photo?
Got me.